to the pop culture cosmos.
And we're back with another episode of the Pop Culture Cosmos. This is Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much again for joining us right here. I've got some great stuff always lined up as long as my good friend is with me to do so. So go ahead and make sure you catch us here. Like and subscribe, that 5-star review, wherever you get your podcasts. And of course, to all the radio stations and all the people listening on the radio stations each and every week on this show since 2016. I cannot thank you enough for doing so. We're almost, actually, it is. We started this, I believe, in August of 2016. So 9 years in. We're truly grateful to all of you who still listen to us here at the Pop Culture Cosmos. But it wouldn't be a Pop Culture Cosmos without my good friend. Indeed, he is the man behind Humanica Media, the Happy Hoarder. Another great weekend of happy hoarding for him. A lot of good things that he always has for sale in the collectible world. Please see him in and around the Texas area at the Happy Hoarder. It is, of course, my good friend, Josh, the Magnificent Peterson. What's up, man?
What's up? What's up? All right. Hey, before we do anything, before we talk shop here, I gotta ask: did you watch the last episode of Alien Earth?
No, I told you I'm cramming it all together.
Right. Come on,
been
man, you're killing me. I know, I respect that, but also you're killing me, man. I gotta discuss. I don't know any other like alien nerds except.
I'll tell you what. For you this week, I'll catch up. I'll catch up with all the episodes this week.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I need to talk to somebody about this.
Okay, just give me 2 days and I'll do it. I'll do it for you.
Right.
Because I've got a show that I don't think you've ever heard of relating to a pretty successful movie and a very busy actor. That's coming up here later in the show that I didn't think you probably knew about, and I don't think a lot of people knew about, but it came out with a second season. And we'll go ahead and talk about that coming up in a bit. Plus, we'll talk Peacemaker season 2 as well. That came out with its first couple episodes, or first episode. So go ahead and we'll talk about that later on as well. Gears Award Reloaded, of course, that's coming out this week. We'll reminisce on that. And of course, Blade. We cannot forget Blade because Josh wanted to start our conversation on the MCU leading into next year's Avengers Doomsday. So we'll go ahead and talk about that on the show as well. But first, my friend, I did want to say, when it comes right down to it, this is probably going to be the biggest news story of 2025, my friend. I'm going to ask you that same question because it is K-Pop Demon Hunters this past weekend, a one weekend only showcase in 1,700 theaters. Over 1,000 showtimes here in the United States were sold out. K-Pop Demon Hunters, whether you saw the sing-along version or a regular version of it, it was in theaters this past weekend. It probably was the #1 movie here domestically, earning somewhere in and around $20 million. We don't know for sure because Netflix hides those numbers. They don't like to report those numbers as far as whenever they put something out, like Glass Onion, Knives Out, that they put out there for about a weekend or for a couple weeks, excuse me, I believe a couple of years ago when that came out. They don't like to report those numbers, so we're not 100% sure. But and also the fact that AMC, the leading theater chain here in the United States, did not have any showings. I guess a dispute with Netflix, the whole stuff heard in regards to streaming going to Netflix and things of that nature. Just petty stuff there. So they lost out on a nice chunk of change. Your thoughts on this? Is K-Pop Demon Hunters, which also coincidentally on Netflix probably will become the biggest movie of all time because it consistently, week after week after week after week is in the top 5, earning over what I believe 25 million views each and every week, I believe roughly. So it consistently is either 1, 2, or 3 every single week for its entire run since June, I want to say. I'll get you the starting date on that here in a second. But your thoughts, my friend, is K-pop Demon Hunters the biggest pop culture story of 2025?
You know what's funny is that so you said what? Do you think 25 million views per week? You said.
It is, I believe, in that realm. Yes, it's consistently in the top 5 each and every week, and that's why it didn't have that. Like, let's for example, Happy Gilmore 2, very front loaded. That first weekend was absolutely huge, but it drops off viewing week by week by week by week. Here, K-pop Demon Hunters consistently has a right around the same viewing around the world each and every week.
Okay, sorry. Well, I mean, so what I'm getting at though is that if you were to do the math there, let's say they're catching matinees or whatever, and you're paying $10 a ticket, that's $250 million right there. If they would have, if that were all theater views.
Uh-huh.
So, very, very, very impressive. I think it's sitting at right now 18 million for the weekend.
18 to 20, yeah, but we don't know because Netflix didn't report the numbers.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just looking at like Box Office Mojo and looking at like ticket sales here. But yeah, I mean that is super impressive. I have yet to watch it, so I don't, I don't know. But I mean, this is a pop culture phenomenon, right? Like we talk about this, how Endgame was like the last big pop culture movement that people of all walks of life, of all ages, of all orientations or whatever got involved in. We haven't seen anything like this since then. Like this is crazy to me because even out here, Central Texas, we're in rural Texas, and my kids go to school out here in Robinson, and everyone at school is talking about K-pop Demon Hunters. They have their hair done like K-pop Demon Hunters. Like it's crazy just how far spread this is, even into like the small nooks and crannies of America. And that, when's the last time you can, I mean, I just said Endgame, but like besides that, when's the last time you heard of something doing that?
To this extent here in the States, it's been a while. I mean, there's always residuals as far as people dressing up from things that they see in pop culture every now and then, but it's not this consistent. It's not this. I mean, my gosh, it's closing in on 200 million views on Netflix all time.
Yeah.
And in doing so, again, it's closing in on the biggest movie of all time for Netflix. But no, to see it something that on a streaming platform grab hold of the entire country or the entire planet, if for that sense, consistently for this long. And like you said, people dressing up. I did see across the weekend for an event that I dropped my kids off to that was related to K-pop Demon Hunters. The line was going out the door. People dressed, like you said, in K-pop Demon Hunters costumes and things of that nature. That in itself, just the resonating. And we're not even on Halloween yet, my friend, because a lot of people, a lot of young ladies will dress up in K-pop Demon Hunter outfits, and that to be right there is going to be something that if you are able to produce it quickly, you might be able to go ahead and jump on the bandwagon there. But I just say right now that to me, that I've not seen anything stick with this so long. This reminds me of when Frozen came out in Japan, and it was #1 in Japan for like 20 plus weeks. Right now, Demon Slayer, excuse me, Demon Slayer in Japan has got taken a hold. The latest movie, which is the first, I guess, in a 3-part arc to close out that series, that
Yeah.
has captivated the attention of the Japanese viewing audience now for weeks itself. But K-pop Demon Hunters has taken over on a worldwide basis. And I have not seen anything like this before. Avengers Endgame, yes, but it had a huge start. That's the thing. K-pop Demon Hunters was not number one its first week. That's the most important thing to tell
Came
you.
out of nowhere.
It's
Came out of nowhere.
yeah, yeah, just absolutely crazy. It touched on the success of K-pop. I mean, K-pop bands here in the States, Twice, BTS, others have sold out stadiums here in the US now for at least 2, 3, 4 years. But to see this remnants with young ladies, it's just absolutely fantastic to see. And I think it will go down as the biggest good story in pop culture for 2025. I mean, there's other bad stories or business transactions that go down notably in pop culture 2025. But this right here, my friend, on a good note, on a pure positive note, is the best story in my opinion in pop culture for 2025.
I agree, man. So here's the thing. My wife does not like anime. She doesn't like dislike like the anime proper. She just doesn't like watching it. All right. But she sat down and watched, not that K-pop Demon Hunters anime, but it's, you know, it's pretty close.
It has some traits to it. It does have some looks to it. It's very well made. But I think it does have some traits like that.
But yeah, she sat down and watched this movie, and she had nothing but positive things to say about it. So if it has captivated her, then there must be some. I mean, not that I don't trust your opinion. Like, you know, I always trust what you say about pop culture, but like my wife is like
except for King Arthur.
Except for King Arthur. But my wife is like a pop culture bah humbug. So if something has captivated her, then they must be doing something right. So I guess this leads to a bigger question. Do we see a franchise out of this, or is it one and done, you think?
No. There's already plans for sequels, spin-offs, whole 9 yards, my friend. And the thing is, Disney with Hulu, Paramount, now that it's spending money everywhere, seemingly just bought they just secured the rights to the Duffer Brothers, you know, from Stranger Things. They spent a lot of money on them. Spent a lot of money on South Park. They are probably interested in developing their own K-pop related stuff. HBO Max, you know, they're on it as well. So yes, it is something that I think a lot of people are going to be interested in emulating. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing if that happens, because we are going to be inundated with a lot of that. It's funny because you know, it's one of the new trends for K-pop right now, but it's been something around for quite a while. I think that will be definitely something that we're going to be seeing for quite some time. But yeah, just the huge returns, and it's what, 8 weeks later, and they're now releasing it to theaters, and it's sold out over 1,000 showtimes. Is just incredible. And AMC, their stubbornness, I guess, whatever it is, relationship that they've had, issues falling out. I guess the fact that the Glass Onion deal, where it was basically streaming day and date, or they were putting it out for theaters just for a taste, and then trying to get you to watch it on Netflix and what all that. I guess that's just left a bad taste in their mouth. Well, you know what? That cost them a lot of money this weekend, because that's the largest theater chain in the US. They blew it, Josh. They blew it. And I think while it cost Netflix maybe an extra 10 million, that's still a drop in the bucket for them, because they still probably got 20-25 million people around the world to watch K-pop Demon Hunters, which again generates income for them. What it doesn't do is get money for AMC. And in a period where this, I guess the summer closed out again with one of the slowest box office returns outside of K-pop Demon Hunter, and a period where they didn't reach their $4 billion goal by the end of August, or won't reach that goal. It was really something that they could have used to garner more money and to garner more attention. And AMC, somebody at AMC should be reevaluated at this point in time. I'll just say that.
Okay, hey, I want to go back to two things you said. All right, one, the Duffer Brothers, right? Paramount, you said, hired the Duffer Brothers, which is funny because they actually hired remember the guy that did the Haunting of Hill House, and what was the other one he did? He did a couple other shows on Netflix, but they hired him to try to come up with a world that could compete with the Conjuring universe that Universal has. But anyways, AMC is interesting to me because okay, so I worked at AMC when I was 16. It was like it was AMC and Edwards, right? They were like the bastions of
Yes.
movie theater going back then. AMC is the only person though to ever stand up against the streaming titans,
Yes.
right? Like they have constantly said that like, hey, this is not good for our industry. It's not even good for you guys as studios to have all these streaming platforms like this. And they have I'm sure left a bad taste in the mouths of people who are hoping for the high quarterly profits. But I mean, I respect them. Yeah, even though they're getting a bad end of the stick this time around, I respect their stance and I respect what they're doing to try to save this industry, the movie theater industry.
Yeah, but the reality is the reality, my friend, and it's costing them, in this case, very easy money. I mean, Netflix could have given them that opportunity to get some and earn some really easy money this past weekend, and they didn't do it. And stubbornness, all you want, my friend. It just at this point, I think they need to make better, sound decisions. And we talk about event movies lessening all the time in our culture, my friend. This was an event movie this past weekend, and AMC didn't show it.
I know, and that is sad. But I have to say, it's like all those pictures of was that old famous picture of Vietnam, right? When the girl is putting the flower in the barrel of the gun. That's what AMC is doing right now to the in the movie theater industry. But I'm sure time will come, the CEO will get fired and they'll have to change their stance on certain things. But hey, for now, it's kind of neat to see what's going on. Anyways, yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters is definitely, it is in my opinion a pop culture movement, and I am super impressed with what is going on with this movie, because I have yet to watch it and I'm hoping to sit down and watch it soon. But like I said, like we're out here in rural America, right on the Bible Belt here, and there are people who are just losing their minds over this movie.
Absolutely, and I'm here on the West Coast, Las Vegas, and people are losing their minds over this movie as well. I mean, it's something. And the best thing about it, Josh, is if you watch it as a musical, if you look at it as a movie musical, it's just pretty darn good. It's really really good. And I think that was the thing that I came away from when I watched it, is how well it's made and structured, and it's a very tight runtime. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's got very catchy songs. We didn't even mention the fact, my friend, that on Billboard's Top 100, they have not one with Golden, they have not two, but three songs in Billboard's Top 100. Three songs currently, and the soundtrack, I believe, has gone to #1 already. So it is cashing in. Netflix is on this in so many ways. I mean, that's not to mention even the fact that they'll start licensing out costumes, things of that nature.
The Funko
It's
Pop's out in a month.
Pardon, what?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. The Funko Pop's released in a month.
Yeah, there you go. Funko Pops right there. So you better start getting them now. Get an order in and get some of those Funko Pops, because Golden and what else is Soda Pop as well. Those are songs, and Your Idol. Those are three songs currently in the top 10 of Billboard's Hot 100 right now, and that's for a movie like this. Actually, I think this is now crossed over into phenomenon, my friend, a pop culture phenomenon like we haven't seen in a while, and like we may not see again for a little while, because it has transcended countries, it has transcended viewing all over the world, it has transcended into something that so many young ladies. I say young ladies for the most part because they're the ones singing it. They're the ones mostly attending it. Their parents are taking them to this because it's a family movie in many ways, but audiences, young and old, are both enjoying this movie, and they deserve a lot of credit. I know Netflix gets a lot of stuff, and even over years from us, it's gotten a little bit of here and there from us. And we've categorized what they've done is they throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks quite a lot with their programming.
Yeah.
But this has certainly stuck, and it's still sticking, and it probably could be still something that's hot. I mean, like you said, the Funko Pops are on the way. The gifts are on the way. Just think, in an age where, yes, I know that Christmas is going to be limited for a lot of people due to rising costs or whatnot, but I bet a lot of young ladies are going to be asking for K-pop Demon Hunters gifts for their holiday treats or holiday gifts this season.
Yes. I guarantee you. And they're the dolls. If they were to make like Barbie style dolls, and I'm sure they will at some point, like those
Mattel, yeah, you think Mattel's not all over this?
insanely well. Yeah. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, hopefully.
Yeah, and you're going to see a bombardment by the end of year of K-pop Demon Hunters related things, and I'm just amazed by all this as far as the consistency and the resilience of this movie that's resonating with audiences. And this is, again, something like we haven't seen here in the States or around the world for quite some time. But it's good to see because people are feeling good about it. Young ladies, again, are really feeling good about it. You know, I see news reports where the kids are saying they've seen this movie 25, 50 times, 100 times already. In its short run already. And it's amazing to see this kind of popularity, and I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see it because it's something positive in the world when there's so much negativity out there. There's so much bleakness about what's going on with the world right now, you know, whatever avenue you cross. And it just is good to see this kind of positivity that's being generated right now by one entity. And yes, it's on Netflix. Yes, I understand with all the parameters on that, but I'll tell you what, my friend, it's really, really good to see.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with you. And I think that is that's important. It's important to have these things happen, especially like we don't have the kids, right? Growing up, we had Star Wars, we had Lord of the Rings, even we had all kinds of things to like latch onto that were more or less okay for us to consume, but there's not a lot out there that's okay for kids these days. So it's good to have some. I mean, as a dad, it's good. I think that's good to have something like that available for my kids to enjoy.
The thing I want to ask you in this, I don't want to say it has, because you mentioned Star Wars, and yeah, this has the staying power right now of what we're seeing with Star Wars. Because 8 weeks into Star Wars, and it was a different time, a different world with Star Wars. But when Star Wars came out, part of the reason why it became bigger and bigger and bigger was because the fact that, like I said, with the viewership of K-pop Demon Hunters, Star Wars, it actually is emulating Star Wars, because Star Wars week after week after week was doing huge numbers. Even months in, it was still an event for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's going to get bigger than Star Wars. I want to say it's gets big as Star Wars, because again, Star Wars has had a decades old head start over something like this, but this is just emulating a 2025, I guess, a style that Star Wars originated, in my opinion, as far as a pop culture event that has transcended the world.
Yeah. And this is, like you said, we're in an era of a lot of like dark, I don't want to say dark media, but I mean, most of what you get is pretty bleak, right? So I am all for stuff like this, especially for the kids, because they, we need that out there.
If only, I guess somewhere at Disney, because you talked about and I've talked about, and this is something we'll probably have to go into on a future episode that I asked we could tape, as far as resonating with younger audiences with Marvel and Star Wars. And it's like someone at Disney's going like, what do we need to do? Do we need to put a K-pop star in Star Wars and Marvel in order to actually have it?
Yeah,
So,
it wouldn't help, right? Or it wouldn't hurt, right?
yeah, it wouldn't hurt indeed. But it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays itself out. But I just wanted to go ahead and make sure we gave the proper respect and the proper time to K-pop Demon Hunters. It's been a huge, massive hit worldwide on Netflix. And this past weekend, we believe, and I'm pretty sure it did, even though, again, Netflix does not report the numbers, but reportedly across news reports, and also what Josh was saying with what Box Office Mojo and other box office experts are pointing out, that it most likely won the box office in North America or in US this past weekend with about $18 to $20 million. Again, over 1,000 showtimes were completely sold out, even the bad seats up front in theaters, to tell you the massive popularity of K-pop Demon Hunters. So yeah, it's just incredible right now. And we're riding the wave of K-pop Demon Hunters, as Josh and I both have daughters who have enjoyed the movie and will continue to resonate with this movie for weeks, months, and years to come. And we will see how Netflix handles the success. There's already been talk about sequels, a prequel for the K-pop Demon Hunters, plus also as well the other streaming outlets. They're already scrambling to go ahead and get their own deal. Plus, we haven't even gotten to the part where, like we talked about earlier, where all these manufacturers are going to manufacture something in K-pop Demon Hunter. Promote maybe Mattel. We already talked Funko Pop. There's going to be a lot more. So yeah, absolutely is insane what we're seeing right now, my friend. But any last thoughts on K-pop Demon Hunters before we hit the break, my friend?
No, not that I can think of. I'm wondering if it's going to end up opening the door for, more people to start watching anime. Like that's one of the big questions I've been wondering. Because I mean, we have K-pop Demon Hunters. That's not the first thing based in South Korean culture to come out that's been highly successful. Look at Solo Leveling was another one that has kind of taken America by storm, right? So I don't know. I think that this is a good way to open the door for more media from or around that revolves around places that haven't been in the spotlight here.
We will see what happens, but it is K-pop Demon Hunters, again, closing in on 200 million views worldwide. It's absolutely been a sensation since it's June 20th, I want to say, as far as the original release date for this movie was, I think, June 20th. Yeah. And it was, tell you what, in the weeks since, it has become a sensation around the world. And this past weekend scored big at the box office. We want to hear your thoughts. Is K-pop Demon Hunters the biggest pop culture news story, the biggest story in pop culture for 2025? We want to hear your thoughts. Please put in the comments on the YouTube channel, or if you want, go ahead and reach out to us, popculturecosmos@yahoo.com, or put it in the comments when you're listening to this on audio on Apple or Spotify. Please go ahead and do so. Is K-pop Demon Hunters the biggest story in pop culture for 2025? Please let us know your thoughts. popculturecosmos@yahoo.com. Well, 1/2 hour down, 1/2 hour to go here at the Pop Culture Cosmos. It is Josh, the Magnificent Peterson, along with me, Joe Glassford. Thanks again for watching, listening. Truly appreciate it. Josh, this week, I know that our K-pop Demon Hunter fans probably are leaving at this point in time, but I wish they would stay for the rest of the show. But I know it's going to touch on stuff that they probably are not watching right now or going ahead and checking in. But on the video game scene, Gears of War Reloads. I know this is a game that you and I have liked from the very beginning. I remember when it first came out in 2006. I remember when I ran game stores, and after running the game store, I would go home at night and play with my employees as far as over the Xbox Live and play night after night after night. But Gears of War Reloaded comes back into the spotlight. Now available on PlayStation 5, $40. Obviously some improved enhancement, making it 40K, 4K, 60 frames, or however many frames per second, making it nice, crisp, shiny. Is it time to go ahead and back into the Gears of War, ecosystem, the ecos once again?
Well,
I'm getting it free, so I'm going to probably test it out. So because
yeah. Same, but can I sit there and like recommend a game that has been remade, remastered more times than I can count? And it's like if you play it, like it's fun, but it's like it's not modern in any way, shape, or form. And I feel like a lot of people who, don't get me wrong, okay, I like the Gears of War franchise. I've played every single one. I love those games, but you look at where Gears 5 is versus where Gears 1 was, like it's a style of gameplay that has not been popular since what, the early 2000s. So I could sit there and say like, hey, yeah, play it if it's on sale, absolutely. But I mean, I can't sit here in good conscience and say like, oh yeah, it's definitely worth paying $50 to $70 for. But also, like, I might be wrong here, but wouldn't you say that people who there's nobody out there who has just owned a PlayStation their entire lives and has not played Gears of War? Because I don't know about you, but me personally, if there's a game out there I want to play and I want to play it bad enough, I'll find a way to play it. So, but I don't know. I mean, do you think it holds up?
It looks really good. And we are getting it free because we bought previous copies of Gears of War the last time it was remastered.
Yeah.
So yes, that's why we're getting it free. So I guess I'm going to give it a try again. But the obvious idea that this is supposed to be an advertisement to get you interested in next year's Gears of War E-Day, I clearly understand is going to be the case because it's Gears of War E-Day. So I'm not surprised at all that they're trying to warm PlayStation 5 users with something that's going to be integral to their success next year. I don't know how much this is that it costs. So maybe the cost to them were minimal enough that they can go ahead and say, you know what, we're going to go ahead and make it really nice and shiny. Please go ahead and play it for Xbox. Anything they get from Xbox or Xbox Games Pass, any interest from it, is just icing on the cake. The real story is when they move this to PlayStation and Nintendo Switch 2. I'm imagining that this will go on Nintendo Switch 2 as well, and PC. If it reaches out to anybody who has tried to ignore it for quite some time now, or younger audiences that weren't around in 2006 when it originally came out, I think that's who they're trying to reach out to. Are those longtime non-Xbox players who have heard of Gears of War but never really ventured into it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, it's a fun game. I like the franchise, but it's just one of those games that's been remade so many times, and people who don't have it on PlayStation and probably played it on PC. So I can't sit there and say like, oh yeah, this is going to be revolutionary. But yeah, check it out, play it. It might be fun.
I will say though, again, it's just something with Gears of War that I'm hoping that will resonate because I want this series to succeed. I have some fond memories of the original Gears of War. I haven't gone as far as you did with the series. Gears of War 2 was purchased around the time of my father's passing. So it's like I actually had 5 pre-orders for me and my staff. and we were going to go ahead and get that, and then my dad passed away on the day it was released. So I was like, I don't not really in the mood for Gears of War, because and since then, I mean, I have gone back into the original Gears of War, but really just the series itself has been kind of iffy for me ever since because of that. So I'm going to have to finally get back into it because I did have a lot of success, interest in it. I don't like the fact that what they did to Dom's character so soon. I think it's like hindsight is 2020, Josh, with Epic and the Coalition and Microsoft and all that, what they did to Dom's character. I think had they rethought that out, I don't think they would have done to Dom's character, not in Gears of War, but later on, Gears of War 2, etc. I think they would have probably had him around a little bit longer, that, or created something more out of the love story between him and his wife. I think they would have done something more with that. I think that's probably something that I think Gears of War fans also kind of like gave them a little bit of pause on. I do like the old grizzled Marcus Phoenix. Come on!
Yeah,
Coming out later on in the series, coming back as old man Marcus Phoenix. I like that aspect of it. There is a Gears of War movie. In fact, that's coming out here hopefully in a bit. I know that the Nobody, I believe it's the Nobody 2 producers are helping to get this thing up in the air, and it is currently, I guess, in some sort of varied part of production. I still think got to put Dave Bautista in that Marcus Phoenix role. But your thoughts, my friend, on Gears of War?
The movie or what? What are we talking about?
Either anything relating to it, because again, it's Gears of War Reloaded this week coming out. So I just wanted to hear a little bit more from you on what you think about what's going on with Gears of War.
Yeah, I mean, I have a long history with Gears. I remember when it came out on the 360, playing it. Playing it with my coworkers too. I think that it is. What am I trying to say? Like, it's a game that defined an entire generation of video games, right? We had our Halo, and we're talking about mascots, right? And then so you think of Xbox back then, you thought of Master Chief and Marcus Phoenix.
Yeah.
So I mean, it definitely has a special place in the heart of Xbox gamers. But I agree with you with Dom. I think that they used Dom's death to push the narrative forward in a way that it didn't need to go. And it would have been nice if they kept him around because, there's a lot of what am I trying to say for Marcus? Like, there's a lot of vulnerability that
Marcus played off of Dom. And so once Dom left the series, he plays off a wide, varied amount of people, but it's just not the same. He just doesn't have that connection, even to his own kin in this series. It's just not the same back and forth, Josh.
Yeah, well, you can tell something went down with. I think it was really stupid of them in Gears. What was it, Gears 5, right? The last one where you had to choose between saving Dom and saving the other guy. Like, not Dom, sorry, JD Phoenix and saving the other guy. I think they really messed up that narrative with all that stuff that happened to JD Phoenix. Like that was their chance to kind of hand the baton over to a new generation, and they blew it. So we'll see what the next one. I think that's why it's taken so long to see a Gears of War 6, because they're trying to figure out what the F do we do with this.
True indeed. True indeed. So we'll see what happens. But if you have thoughts on Gears of War Reloaded, please let us know as it comes out for many gamers on PlayStation and I believe PC, and also, of course, Xbox and Xbox Games Pass. I'm assuming a Nintendo Switch 2 version would be on the way at some point in time as well. So go ahead and share us your thoughts on Gears of War Reloaded, Pop Culture Cosmos at yahoo.com. So I'm going to hit you up right now with what you know on the series that you have seen or heard about, at least. Peacemaker Season 2 going on right now. I guess that the talk more is of how do they retcon or try to fix what's going on. And I think as far as, because if you remember Peacemaker Season 1, that had elements previously of the Snyderverse in it, and now it has to have, because of his appearance in Superman, now elements of the James Gunn verse
Yeah.
into this now. So, your thoughts on Peacemaker season 2, getting off to a start just like Alien Earth? Of course, John Cena back into the role that a lot of people are familiar with him in. Your thoughts on Peacemaker season 2, my friend?
Okay, so I haven't watched a lot the second season yet, but the great thing about a show like Peacemaker is it's so wacky that you can literally retcon anything you want to. It's the same way Deadpool is the same way, right? I mean, the character's so wacky that you could literally have him doing anything and it would retcon anything you want to and still make sense.
Yeah.
So, I think that that's a good. If they were going to change things, I think that that was a good way to do it. But also, like, there's still elements, right, of the DCU that don't make sense. Like the whole Amanda Waller. How can you retcon One Piece but still have the pieces with like Amanda Waller and the Suicide Squad? It's still a mess, and it's going to take a lot more to fix that than I think anybody is really aware of.
I want to go ahead and say at this point that it's going to be something that with Peacemaker, I think it's going to be integral to the James Gunn verse from a TV standpoint. I'm hoping that Penguin will be still, from an DC standpoint, still also be as far as one of the cornerstones of what's going forward. But we don't know because it's relating to the Batman non James Gunn verse as of now, so we'll see what happens. But those two DC shows, those two HBO shows, really, hopefully, will get continued life because I think they're both enjoyable, each in their own specific ways. So we'll see. But Peacemaker is something that I think a lot of people are interested right now in, and again, relating to the success of Superman, which, along with F1, both just went over $600 million worldwide at the box office. Just crept over those numbers. We will see what kind of continued success. I still think right now that they need to be careful about how they approach this new DC universe because Superman is, I guess you could say, a hit. It's a hit. It's not an overwhelming hit in a deflated box office, but it's a hit enough to go ahead and use as the basis for your future going forward. But we'll see what happens, man. This is a bigger conversation for another day on the DC universe, what the Gunverse should be doing, what they are. But Peacemaker being involved in all this, I think is still a lot of fun. I think James Gunn really likes the character, and I really think he enjoys going ahead and having John Cena portray a good part of the DC universe with Peacemaker.
Yeah, I agree. What's crazy is that originally, what's his name? The guy who played Blue Beetle lucked out because originally that was supposed to be part of the Snyderverse, and James Gunn had like examined the film and found that like it could just as easily fit into his universe because it's not really tied per se to the Snyderverse. So I guess the Blue Beetle, he said, is technically canon in the James Gunn universe.
Oh, exactly. And as he said, I believe in a conversation recently, James Gunn said he'd love to George Lucas the bleep out of it right now when it comes to Peacemaker and try to retcon a lot of stuff because of its ties to the Snyderverse. But it is what it is. And I'm not sure they're fully going to be able to correct everything or explain away everything properly. But for the most part, Peacemaker is all about what's fun in the DC universe right now. And so if you have thoughts on Peacemaker season 2, please let us know. popculturecosmos@yahoo.com. My friend, there's another show in season 2 that you didn't even know existed, and I didn't until last week when I came across it on Amazon Prime. Do you remember the movie Sausage Party?
Yes.
Yes, the very R-rated, very hard R-rated animated feature that came out by Sony to some surprisingly good results, starring Seth Rogen, among others. Well, that cast returned for a TV show. an animated show. I believe about 10 episodes each. Did you realize it's already on season 2? I didn't even know season 1 had happened, but
Yeah.
it is Sausage Party Foodtopia. Did you know this show existed?
I did not. No.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, now you know. See, Sausage Party Foodtopia.
Yeah.
It deals with the aftermath of what happened in the movie, the battle between food and humans, and what happens. It's part Sausage Party and part The Walking Dead. It's basically what would happen if vegetables took over the earth, or food took over the earth, basically in a nutshell. So, and it describes everything the battle that goes on, and has a lot of tendencies toward The Walking Dead because of once you take over the world, now you're battling each other. So
Yeah.
there are factions of foods, battling each other. Humans that are left, the spare humans that are left around the world are now used as pawns in all this. It's interesting. It goes well over the top from what even the movie does. I don't think the jokes, they don't resonate as much with me because I think that the humor and enjoyment of a 2-hour movie kind of gets lost in the fray over a 10 episode arc. But I did watch and cram through the 2 seasons to get me to where it is. I don't know if it's going to continue. I've not heard it being greenlit for season 3. I didn't even know it was greenlit for season 1 for that matter. So,
Yeah.
but it wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was just there. And again, I wasn't laughing out loud at any point in stretch, despite all the food-related puns and things of that nature that I found humorous in the movie. Your
Yeah.
thoughts on even entering the thought of going back into the world of Sausage Party?
I'll be honest, man. I thought that the first one was really stupid. Like I was not a fan. Not stupid. I'm sorry. I respect art of all forms, but I
That's okay. I think Seth Rogen wouldn't mind you calling it stupid because it fell to a low. It reached out to the lowest common denominator. It's okay.
yeah, I just like I wasn't a fan of the watching it originally, and like I sat there, I turned it on, I'm like, why am I even sitting here watching this? Like this show is not. It has nothing to do with like how crass the humor was or really anything like that. It just was. By the time that had come out, I had outgrown. I feel like I had kind of outgrown like that Seth Rogen style humor.
I don't blame you. I
So
don't blame you.
yeah, I mean, is it a show I'm gonna rush to watch? No, probably not. Is it something I'm planning to watch at all? No, probably not. But I know people who did enjoy it, and if this is something that keeps that magic going for them, then I'm on board for it.
It does reach out to the young male audience. Something I think that has been a concern to Disney. I know that there was a recent article about Disney saying it has lost entirely the young male audience. So
Okay, while we're on this, can I ask you a question?
yes.
Okay. What are your thoughts? So there's been a lot of like Jason Biggs has been making the rounds like in the media lately on because there's been a lot of people actually for like a lot of classes, people have been doing like experiments with American Pie, the original, and saying like a modern audience, how does it appeal to a modern audience, modern kids? And a lot of kids are like, wow, this movie is like really problematic. You can't talk to women like that or objectify people in that manner. Jason Biggs got on it and he said, or he started talking about a lot. He's been doing a lot of interviews saying, like, hey, you know, does the movie still work today? Not as well as it once did, but I mean, I think there's a place for it in time today. And it's mostly talking about how, you know, that's just like a time capsule of culture at the time that those movies came out. But what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that we now live in an era where you can't make a movie like that anymore? Or do you think there's just not enough audience for it in order for it to succeed?
I'm going to be discussing with TJ Johnson later this week on our PC Multiverse. I'm going to record with him. I don't know when I'm going to run it, but we're going to be talking about the 40-Year-Old Virgin, which just came back to theaters this past weekend, and that is probably in the realm of what you would say with that particular film, and it it's of another time, and they said things and did things in that movie as well that both movies have such similarities, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure it would have the same kind of resonating effect,
Yeah.
is what I would say. You could run it, you could do it, you could show it, you could post it, you could put on a streaming outlet. Somebody will catch it with the right stars, but will it have the same effect? And not just from a controversial people turning their cheeks to it, as far as, oh, this is horrible, this is not good in today's society, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Is it still humorous
Yeah.
for this period of time? That's the thing. Will it still resonate with this crowd or this audience today, as wide of an audience as it did back then? Will those two properties be as popular today as they did then? And I think by the fact that the 40-year-old virgin in limited release didn't do great. Trainwreck actually was also doing as well. I think they did a double feature and it didn't do well either.
That movie
So
wasn't good the first time, though.
yeah,
Just to be fair.
there you go. But yeah, I think that tells you all you need to know. I think it's just a different taste of different society at this point in time. Plus also the different values that have changed. But I think it just won't, these movies or these properties won't resonate as well as they did in their time period.
Yeah. Yeah. And I absolutely agree with that. I think that there was a time and a place for him, and it's not, it's not now anymore. It's just, I think like Kevin Smith is really the only person left that's still making that type of humor. And, his movies have their fans, and they're not exactly like box office successes, but I don't know. Either we're in a era where people are craving more substance to their films, or we're in an era where there's no substance to films in general and nobody cares.
But we will see how it continues to develop. It may change back. It may revert back to that 90s, 2000s humor as far as it's concerned, but we will have to wait and see. But before we head on out, my friend, I told you we would discuss Blade. I wanted to go ahead and make sure we got that in for the MCU and your thoughts. Blade, to me, is the first great Marvel movie. It has resonated and still resonates with me today. Just absolutely fantastic. The music, especially the intro, still play that song quite a bit as far as the theme from Blade.
Crystal Method, right? The name of the game.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's yep. Crystal Method, indeed. So I want to hear your thoughts as far as Blade is concerned, but the movie still resonates. The movie still works. And as much as I enjoyed Wesley Snipes' version of Blade, I would love to see Mahershala Ali get that same opportunity.
Yeah, I do too. So Blade 1 was it was the first superhero movie, comic book based movie I ever watched. And I remember the first time I watched it, I was way too young to watch that movie, and I remember sitting there thinking like, "Wow, this is really like bloody, and that's a lot of F words being said right now." So I naturally I finished it, but yeah, when you're a kid and something seems taboo, and you're like, "Oh, I gotta indulge in more of this." But yeah, I mean, I think the movie holds up pretty well. I think it's for people wanting to go back and get more lore, more history on the character, I think they did a good job of that. The movie is definitely like the technology used to make it is definitely a product of its time. Like it's very, very dark, and even if you have like all the lights off in your house, you still can't make out a lot of the things on the screen. And the story with Blade and his mom and Wesker, like I think that they did a really great job with that. Like they took a character who was brutal and bloody, and they did a good job of humanizing him, even for the 90s storytelling techniques that were popular back then. The film still stands on its own really well. We'll get to Blade Trinity later on. That's a completely different story, but like this movie I think is still really good for people who want to go back and have the full history of the MCU. And yeah, I mean, I've never disliked Wesley Snipes as an actor. I thought he holds his own pretty well. I mean, this was the first movie I'd ever seen him in, but Yeah, I mean everything about the film. Still, if I had to give it like a modern rating, I think I'd still give it like a probably like 7 or 8, somewhere right
I,
thereabouts.
for me, I'd give it a solid 8. I think it really still resonates with me, and I think it's an absolutely fantastic film. I enjoy it still. I think it works from beginning to end. I think it gets a little bit over top at times as far as the council of vampires and all that, as far as from that aspect, and that one vampire is so much more powerful than the other vampires.
Mhm.
Uh, that's not half human like Blade. But I'm talking about the Steven Dorff character. Yeah, that he was so much more power than the others because he was younger and he just, he wasn't fully. He was into the universe and all that. Uh, I mean, you have to go along with that plot that he is more powerful or becomes more powerful than the age old vampires per se. But again, if you're really ready to go with that, then absolutely. Special effects little bit dated, but still, for the most part, Blade really works. And again, it's something that it has a good soundtrack, has a good score. Really works for me. The fighting is still really good. Wesley Snipes, I think, is at his best. So I think it worked for me, and it still works for me today.
Yeah, it's I mean, and that's the first time I watched a movie, and we talked about this before. It just had a certain attitude about it, where you sit back and you're like, wow,
Yeah,
this is cool.
yeah. Absolutely. I think that's what made it really cool. I wish it had started there, the MCU, but it didn't. It took a little bit more bumps in the road. But next time we meet, where do we go next with your trip down memory
Oh
lane for the
yeah,
MCU?
hold on one second. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. I had a
Okay.
thing. I think it's Spider-Man 1, if I remember correctly, the Tobey Maguire one. But
Okay.
hold on.
No worries. No worries. All good. All good. All right. But yeah, getting going here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm going to tell you right now which movie it is. Give me one
All
second.
right.
It's going to be great.
All right. No
Promise.
worries.
All right. X-Men. Oh, it's X-Men. All right. X-Men is the next one we're watching. The original X-Men.
Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and discuss X-Men on our next program together. And
Yes.
so that'll be interesting to see. But if you guys have thoughts on Blade itself, please let us know. popculturecosmos@yahoo.com. But before we head on out, my friend, as the guy behind the Happy Hoarder who sells a lot, if you see his displays on Facebook or Instagram, as far as the Happy Hoarder is concerned, you get to see all the displays of all the different things that he sells. But I know one thing is he sells are collectible cards like Pokemon and I'm assuming Magic the Gathering as well.
Yes. Yeah. The
Okay,
let
so
me. Yeah.
well, let me ask you this
Okay.
as we close out the show. Do you happen to have some Spider-Man Magic booster cards?
I have some on order. I actually ordered some the booster packs, and I also got there's action figures, Marvel Legends figures that come with exclusive Magic the Gathering cards. So I got those coming in too. I will say, like, the distribution with trading cards is crazy now, because now they're catching on to the trends and they're starting to get their wholesale prices really, really close to the market price.
Well, I don't think so in this case because those cards, those Spider-Man Magic booster cards, are selling currently on eBay for over $1,000.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. But this just inflates the trading card game. It's crazy, man.
I'm telling you, my friend, I'm hoping you make some big, big dollars on it because Spider-Man Magic booster cards is really good. It just tells you about the IP of Spider-Man. Even after all these years, Spider-Man is still the biggest entity. I know Superman is pretty good right now, but Spider-Man in our society, especially here in the States, it's just the quintessential superhero of any of the superheroes: Iron Man, Thor, Superman,
Yep.
Batman. When Spider-Man Magic booster cards are pushing $1,000 for us for a box, that tells you all you need to know about Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yep. I absolutely agree.
My friend, it's been a great episode as always, but any last thoughts before we head on out?
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, if all y'all out there get a chance, if you're a '90s like music fan, the Deftones just dropped a new album last week called
You would say that.
Yes. Definitely check that, because I mean, Deftones has been in the mainstream for so long, and they're the only band to come out of that time, that era, that is consistently putting out like heavy, good music. So definitely check that out if you get a chance. It's good.
Well, there you go. Again, the Deftones, if you can go ahead and check them out. I did see the post just before we went on the air, so I had a feeling he would drop that for you. Yeah, if you're into good music, go ahead and check out the Deftones' latest album. From all of us right here at the Pop Culture Cosmos. So for Josh the Magnificent Peterson, this is Gerald Glassford. It's another beautiful day in paradise right here in the Pop Culture Cosmos. We thank you for listening. And here's hoping you have yourself a great day.
Welcome to the Pop Culture Cosmos.